Long ago, in a kingdom surrounded by black mountains and silver rivers, there lived a queen named Zorelia. And listen, people didn't just dislike her. They feared her. Her was famous, legendary, the kind of anger that made grown soldiers forget their training, the kind that made servants shake while holding a tray of water. If your shoes made noise in her hallway, you could lose your job. If your eyes met hers for too long, you could lose your freedom. And if you spoke when she didn't ask, you could lose your head. No joke. The palace was beautiful, yes. Gold walls, crystal windows, gardens that smelled like heaven. But inside, it was a cage built from silence. No laughter, no loud footsteps, no joy, only fear, and the sound of the queen's heels striking marble floors. Tap, tap, tap. That sound alone was enough to make hearts race. Now here's where our story changes. Because one morning, a new maid arrived at the palace gates. Her name was Amira. Small, quiet, plain clothes, dust on her shoes. She carried nothing but a little bag, and eyes that had clearly seen too much life already. When the guards warned her about the queen, don't speak unless spoken to. Don't look her in the eye. Don't make mistakes. Amira only nodded. Softly, I understand. But nobody knew her real story. Nobody knew she had walked 3 days to reach this palace. Nobody knew her village had been burned. Nobody knew she had lost everything. And nobody knew that her calm was not weakness. It was control. Her first week at the palace was brutal. Maids cried in corners. Servants quit overnight. One boy fainted just from hearing the queen shout. And Amira? She stayed quiet. She cleaned. She listened. She observed. She noticed how the queen never ate with others. How she locked herself in her room every night. How sometimes, just sometimes, late at night, music could be heard from behind her door. Sad music. Slow. Broken. But no one dared talk about that. Then came the day everything almost ended. Amira was assigned to deliver tea to the queen's private chamber. The most dangerous task in the palace. Hands shaking. Maids had dropped trays before. And those maids never returned. The head servant whispered, "Pray before you enter." Amira didn't pray. She breathed. Slowly. Knocked once. Enter. The queen's voice was sharp. Cold. Amira stepped in. The room was dark. Curtains closed. Candles flickering. And there sat Queen Zorelia. Straight posture. Crown heavy. Eyes like sharpened steel. Amira walked carefully. But just as she reached the table, her foot slipped. The cup tilted. Hot tea splashed across the floor. Silence. Pure. Deadly. Silence. The queen stood up slowly. Very slowly. Look at me. Amira raised her eyes. Everyone watching from the doorways knew what came next. Punishment. Screaming. Death. The queen's voice trembled with rage. Do you know how many maids beg for mercy after mistakes like this? Amira swallowed. Yes, my queen. Do you know what happens to them? Yes, my queen. The queen leaned closer. Then speak. Beg. But Amira didn't. Instead, she said softly, "My mother used to scream like you." The room froze. Guards reached for swords. Servants gasped. The queen's eyes widened. What did you say? Amira didn't lower her head. She screamed at the world, because the world broke her first. You could hear breathing. Nothing else. The queen whispered, "You should be executed." Amira nodded. "Maybe, but that won't fix what's hurting you." That was it. Guards grabbed her arms. People turned away. Someone cried. The queen raised her hand. Wait. Guards froze. The queen stared at Amira. Her voice changed. Not angry. Not loud. Quiet. Who are you? A maid? No. The queen stepped closer. Who are you really? Amira hesitated, then said, "I am someone who survived anger and learned it is a prison." The queen stepped back. Her hand shook. For the first time, she sat down. "Leave us." The guards hesitated. I said leave. Doors closed. Now it was just them. A queen and a maid. The silence was different now. Heavy. Human. The queen spoke. "My husband was murdered." Amira listened. "My child died the same night." Amira didn't speak. "I ruled with kindness once." Her voice cracked. "They laughed at me." Her eyes watered. "They betrayed me." She clenched her fists. "So I became what they feared." A long pause. Then Amira whispered, "And now you are alone." The queen closed her eyes. That night, Amira was not executed. She became the queen's personal attendant. Days passed. Weeks. And slowly, things changed. The queen still ruled strong, but she no longer screamed. She no longer punished without reason. She ate among others. She listened, and sometimes she even smiled. But the most shocking part? She laughed. One evening, the queen said, "You were not afraid of me." Amira answered, "I was afraid of becoming you." The queen nodded. Years later, the kingdom flourished. People called Queen Zorelia the Iron Queen with the gentle heart. And Amira? She became the royal advisor, not because she was powerful, but because she was brave enough to speak truth to anger. And that is how a maid defeated a queen without lifting a sword. If you enjoyed this story, remember, sometimes the strongest voice is the calmest one, and sometimes the angriest people are just wounded children wearing crowns.